Well, we'll wait for more people to turn up.
Yeah, please. That's good.
Maybe we leave the door open.
Stand by the external. Stand 3, 4. 1, 2, भाई. Audio. Mic का. वाला. माइक दिखे नहीं इसमें?
ये लीड दे
बस माइक पे ओके.
So you have more hellos coming from Cornwall. When I posted the picture, so more hellos are coming.
I'm giving many workshops in Roma. Does he come to my workshops?
No.
Okay.
I haven't been.
Oh, you're in Tecloban, but you don't get to unlock much?
एक ही घंटे का सेशन होता है जो सेशन बस.
I've got a feature of unlock in the presentation.
तो स्टार्ट होगा सेशन.
So I manage a network of NGOs and Gene's organizations, part of it. I also have upstairs.
Which organ cow?
Pagpinabanay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if you want any, so what's happening with with the micro development in Tacloban and Omok? So micro small business development.
It's actually quite cool. Still cool.
Okay, well, if you talk to Jean and if you can get some support, I'll come there again and give workshops again. Alright? Okay.
Anyone helping here? Thanks.
ब्रेकफास्ट हो गया
School continue, right?
बस आप आओगे तो फ्री हो जाओ.
ऑडियो ओके. साइड में.
You will try 1 minute.
ओके.
Yeah, I'll start in 1 minute.
माइक ला दी.
हाँ अच्छा.
Maybe we'll shut one.
माइक कैसे करेगा? माइक देखे नहीं गए?
How are you? Good.
हेलो
एक माइक है तो
कहाँ है? वो नहीं है. थोड़ा और आगे. ओके. हेलो हेलो हो जाता ना फिर निकल लेता. एक बार चेक हो जाता ना यहाँ पे. बोले कितने स्लो बोल रहे हैं ये भी तो नहीं बता रहा. ठीक है. ठीक है ओके. तू मैनुअल
हो गया ना?
हाँ जी ओके.
Just please go door.
I know if it gets noisy, it's fine.
Very good morning, friends.
morning.
I welcome here Miss Carol and from Australia, and she'll be giving us enlightenment on women empowerment for incubation period of online business. Women and technology, this incubation, this thing is highly discussed, and many of them have problems. So I think this is the right time. And okay. Hello. Good morning, friends. I welcome Ms. Carol from Australia. And with this beautiful and intelligent faces around, today we will be her topic of discussion is economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs through online business incubation. I think women in technology is wrongly discussed always. So women presenting on this topic and enlightened us is really important. So we looked ahead.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and thank you for the introduction. Okay, so the topic today has evolved because 23 years ago I started a not-for-profit association helping people in business, and the topics that I created, people came from all over Western Australia, long distances. Western Australia is very big, and I'll show you a picture later on. So online business incubation actually started even before email was happening. I used to help people by fax, by phone. So online doesn't have to be just by the internet. So to get the presentation started, to give you some background, I started my fashion label in 1973, and that ran for 20 years. I used to supply 400 boutiques across Australia, export, retail, wholesale, etc., etc. So the things that I'm sharing with you today and the things that I have developed over the past 23 years to help other women in business are from actual hands-on experience, from being on the other side of the fence. So I have empathy with every person in business, in small business. I have empathy for every woman running a business and know the issues that they go through. So that's just a quick overview of my background. So the TCF Global not-for-profit, I started 19 years ago, and that specifically helps fashion, textile, creatives. It started in Western Australia, it grew to Australia, and now it's global. The Business Enterprise Centre helps all sorts of businesses, and that started 23 years ago. And that grew to, once again, it grew across Australia, national, and of course global as well. So we have people in all parts of the world that tap into what we do or we partner with. And I created the BPW Business Incubator with that network as well. Over the years in Australia, I've assisted over 25,000 SMEs, and 16,000 of those have been women. So the products and programs and projects that I developed have been evolving over a long period of time through the need that women, that I find women best learn to develop and grow their business. Now, Women's Empowerment Principles through the Global Compact in the UN, this was actually launched about 2011-12. So number 5 there in the Women's Empowerment Principles, which is about implementing enterprise development, number 5 was my focus of creating more projects to help women develop and grow their businesses. Now, of course, we've moved to the Sustainable Development Goals, and you'll see that gender equality is high on the list of the Sustainable Development Goals of 17, and many of the topics on these goals actually cross over with the areas that we assist with, innovation being one of them. I'm running my 13th Innovation Festival as we speak, that with hosting 95 events over a 6-week period. So first off, I don't want to really scare you, but it's time to be shocked into the reality that, and this is some awareness points to take back, that the 4th Industrial Revolution is here. It's happening. Big data is happening. Artificial intelligence is here. You need to be aware of your data protection, and you need to be aware of your social media use, because that is your business. Your intellectual property is your client base, so you need to be aware of this. 50% of all jobs today will disappear or be disrupted over the next 15 years. That means if you're currently employed, you may be out of a job in the coming years. If you've got a business, it may mean that the business may not exist in the next coming years. So if you want to grow your business and you haven't done your research, it could be that your business will become obsolete. So I'm very concerned and I'm passionate about, and I'm speaking in many parts of the world about this issue. Where does this leave women and their financial security? Because many women run their business to provide for their children, their education, their feeding and the finance of their family. So where does this leave the security of women with this digital disruption of the fourth industrial revolution happening? And this research is just recent research from Alibaba, and they're saying corporations will end by the year 2020. Now that's only like 2.5 years away. The 8-hour work week will end by 2036. And 2046, 80% of the global trade will be on digital. Will be on digital, but it will be by small businesses and entrepreneurs and freelancers. Now, if you are going to wait for the next 10 years to get online, to be digital, to work with freelancers and others, then you will keep competing against half of the world. So the clock is ticking. You need to move fast to grow and develop your business model to survive this onslaught. And the only way I explain it to people is think about the horse and cart, and then think about someone saying this guy in America invented a ute that would transport things. And people, no, that won't happen. Okay, it disrupted the whole of the world with transport. Okay, I started this BPW Business Incubator project. BPW is an international women's business and professional women's organisation in 100 countries of the world with some 30,000 members. I started this in 2012. I launched it in New York during the Commission of the Status of Women, United Nations, and it was specifically developed to help women grow and develop their businesses. So it was a series of everything that women need in bite-sized pieces. So the topics cover all the basics, but it was about breaking things down. Women are very right-brain. Right-brain because they're innovative, they're intuitive, and they run their business very much on gut instinct. But it's the left brain of the business skills that develops the profit and develops the business growth and the financial stability. So by breaking things down into bite-sized pieces is what this project was developed to do. So I would get participants would fill out this form online or by hand, answering yes, no, maybe. Now these topics actually could be the first time some women have actually questioned themselves on risk management or legal issues. So it's about breaching starting the topics of understanding what they need to know. Yes, no, maybe. That's all they had to do. Another chart that we would take women through, depending on the project that we would, is self-assessment of goal setting. And I would take them through this session, or my mentors would take them through this session, where they're simply ticking a box. They can be as honest as they want because nobody collects this form off them. So it's a self-assessment of their goals. So they've got no idea, they're unsure, or they're really good at it. So they would go through, then we would take them through the point of joining up the dots. And if we join those pages together, turn it on the side, they've actually created their own action plan of what they need to put into their skill development, which means that they're up. Now, anyone who wants to take photos you can give me your card and I will send you this PowerPoint. It's better than having it all mishmashy. Okay, so because part of a women's business growth development is them coming to terms with what they need to know, and then it's doing something about it. Okay, so it's actually self-assessing, do an action plan of are they going to act the next time that something comes up with legal matters or with intellectual property, financial areas. We have probably 80 or 90 topics online that are all specialist industry, industry, factual, real life stuff. This is not academia. This is real life, what you need to know in bite-sized pieces of the topics you need to move forward. So if you have a problem getting clients, then marketing on a budget. If you have a problem understanding your prices, then simply pricing and costing. The list is endless. If you want to deal with Italy, then listen to dealing with the Italian fashion media. If you want to trademark in the US, then do the US trademarking webinar. Everything, and I have a lot more that aren't even listed there. So it's about listening to specialists, listening to, and these are 1 hour sessions in bite-sized pieces. And everyone at this session today gets a free webinar as part of my Innovation Festival. So why do you have a need to plan? The who, what, why and where, those that were in my session yesterday, the plenary session. Okay, the first thing women need to do, and because I was a designer, all of my projects are written in a creative way.
Correct.
Simple, quick, one-page things of, if you want a business plan, it should consist of 3 things: the income, the hours, and the lifestyle. What is your income now, and what do you want in the future? What's the hours you work now, and what do you want in the future? And what's your lifestyle? Because if you're going to start a business and don't look at your lifestyle, then you can create a monster. And if you've got children and you're responsible, then you need to create a business that has a lifestyle attached to it, that incorporates the hours that you need. So it's about putting these things down first and then creating your vision. So you put the money here, you put the years here, and you create your own plan. And if you have that vision, you can design a business the same way as you can design anything. So it's about coming up with these 3 things first with the future, of course. We're not going backwards. Why would you want to work double the hours than you are now for half the money? So income, hours and lifestyle. You need to seriously do a SWOT. You actually need to come to terms now with what you're good at, what you're not good at, what your opportunities are and your threats. You can get the PowerPoint. Okay, and you have to overcome these and you have to tackle them, because your weakness, think of your business as a gold chain. You are only as good as the weakest link in this chain, and it will be broken and fall off your neck. You are only as good as your weakest link. So, the issue that women have is to work on their business. Working on the business is covering all the main topics here that are listed. And if you're a designer and doing product development, then you are seriously doing extra over and above the call of most businesses. So the owner-manager works on the business, and this is the left brain side that women are not good at tackling. They put it in the too hard basket because they are very good at working in the business, as tradespeople do as well, working in it. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, now, working in the business is great, and most entrepreneurs start out working in the business. But what happens is this is where the emotion is. This is where they make what they want to make instead of making what the market wants to buy. This is where they buy the raw materials to suit what they like, irrelevant of the fact whether what they're selling it is covering the cost of the price or the service. They're also not costing themselves into the time they spend into this business. They think they will get the profit at the end But if they're not costing themselves into the price they're charging, then when their business grows, where is the money going to come from to hire staff? So this is a mindset issue of understanding. So what is the cost to do what many hours you're working in the business and how much, and that must be costed into your product. So doing the jobs, and this is the problem of why women or all people in micro small business have a problem, because the emotion gets in the way. And even very, very highly educated people can get brain dead when it comes to clear thinking and being objective. Okay, so what did we find that this project benefits women? Or what do we find that the aspects of women from these projects? That women are time poor, seriously time poor in business, especially in places like Australia, because we don't have any domestic help. Maybe here in India you may have more, it may not be as time poor, but in many Western countries there is no domestic help. And in fact, the gentlemen have to do domestic duties as well, under great duress. But they're not only running their own business, they're running the home. They're also got family responsibilities, either bearing the children, looking after the children, collecting the children, educating the children after school. But if their partner has a business, they're most likely helping the partner in his business or her business as well. And which means you are seriously stretched. So where do they find the time for business skills or networking? And that is why they're time poor. And the other aspect is that women do not know what they don't know, because they're too busy. They're not out finding out, oh, I hear this, hear that. They don't know what they don't know until they hit a brick wall, and then they don't know why they're having an issue with their business. Then they come and see an advisor or mentor or what the sorts of things I'm doing. And if they'd only been proactive instead of reactive, then a lot of these issues could have been less stressful or been prepared for in advance. So what do I find with 23 years of helping women as a business facilitator, mentor, advisor, everything that goes with running NGOs, is that women lack confidence. In fact, one of my NGOs is also involved with the World Bank. I was on a committee that did research from business incubators around the world, and they found the same thing. Women lack confidence and self-esteem. And that's one of the issues holding back women in business to move forward. Their business evolves from the bottom up, so they lack resources. And there may be many programs provided by countries that help a woman start a business, but then there's no capacity building. So things flounder then. They need mentors one-on-one and specialists to ask questions. They become isolated, and they need supportive networks. So why does online business incubation work is because it's 24/7. It's when they put the kids to bed and they can get on and do their training at 10 o'clock at night. They can email in their questions to their mentor and have a reply or have a Skype message. We assist women in many countries in many languages. Here's some of the feedback of some of the participants of how they felt that participating in the project assisted them. I also did this project for women in Taiwan, Korea, Chile, Philippines and Australia as part of an APEC project. So the same thing in the research, and the research was undertaken by a university in Taiwan. What worked? Challenges. They were time poor. Same thing. This is global, the issues that I'm sharing with you. They had self-doubt and self-confidence. Negotiating skills are not a good strength of women anywhere in the world, and that's why there's such a wage gap. In Australia, in Western Australia, it's 24% salary gap. In Australia, it's going in the wrong direction. The East Coast, it's 18%. And around the world, it's going in the wrong direction. And one of the reasons is negotiation skills, because women going for their salary, the other wages are not transparent. So they don't know what the male counterpart is being paid, and they're not good at negotiating. So another aspect is is learning to accept, working with a mentor, is learning to accept positive feedback. Okay, so that is very important in business to be able to accept positive feedback. They learn fast, they can multitask, they're intuitive, they're prepared to work hard. So that's the feedback from one of our mentors. So this is one of our Philippines designers that was in our project, and how she grew and was happy with her feedback on the support. Here's another one from the Philippines, some designers from Australia, from Chile, and what she said was that she liked the fact that the topics that we provided were not in normal business courses. And that is the focus of a lot of the things that ours is real world. Our topics are the way the world works in business, not theory. Ours is practical support. And this is some design Korean small businesses that were in our projects giving feedback. Now, our TCF NGO has been very passionate on energy efficiency. We delivered this to 1,000 businesses across Australia in 2012-15. And if you know much about energy and monitoring and measuring energy use, it's not really a female-friendly thing. So it wasn't, how do we develop this? And to anyone in this room, you can access our free webinars covering 9 topics on energy efficiency online now. And we did this online again with webinars and forums and mentoring to work with a mentor to lower energy use. And these are some of the statistics and simply very basic steps. No matter what country in the world you're in, energy is getting a much more difficult and costly expense to a business, that by understanding energy, monitoring, measuring and use, you can lower your costs 20% easily and sometimes up to 40% of your energy use by understanding the differences. And these are just some of the statistics through participants undertaking knowledge and training on energy use of how it can be reduced. Some of those TCF, why did I go down energy? TCF is very energy and polluting industry. So understanding the whole energy supply chain, the freight, the transport, the packaging is all part of the energy cost of your business. So if you can lower the costs of energy, it's not just the switch and the lights, it's the whole sphere of the aspect. So this project was also about sustainable sourcing, ethical living wages, sustainable textiles, looking at the water use, and of course sustainability is the society, environment and the economy. And all businesses now are asking for businesses that they deal with for having transparent supply chains. So it's no longer acceptable to say, well, I bought it off my wholesaler. I'm sure they know where they're getting that product from. No, you must request that there's that wholesaler or retailer or whoever you're buying your raw materials from or your supplies, that they have accredited supplies and they're transparent. Because if you haven't, it could be that you are building your business and then you will be lose all your client base because you can't provide that. Okay, so another aspect of online training and mentoring for women that I would like, that we are doing at the moment for the last 12 months is retirement income. This is a bit of another project with mentoring forums and online training. And this is, I hate to say it, a global alert that women are going to be the welfare poor of the future. This is a serious issue affecting women around the world. In fact, in Australia today, the largest group of homeless in Australia today is women 70 plus.
Oh my God.
Right? And why has that happened? Is that 1 in 3 women retire with nothing. Because women are working casual or part-time. Women take time out of their business to do family commitments. They don't have savings. And if women start a business, putting away money for their future is the last thing on their mind in running their business. So here, that's the lowest priority for women. Many marriages end up in divorce, 50%. The women end up badly out of that situation. Maybe the woman was working with the husband in the business or partner in the business, and they were working not on the books. There is a lot of issues. I could go on for a long list of why this is happening, but this is a global alert, and you need to look at the women in your country and what this issue is, retirement income. So we've been doing this because how can 104,000 take you through 20 years of your life? And why is it also getting a severe issue in Australia? Because the pricing of houses in Australia is doubling. So the average wage cannot afford a house, and the people, women and the families that were renting can no longer afford the rental income. So they're being turfed out and they're couch surfing. So you need to look at this situation. If you care about women's empowerment in the country where you're in, you need to start asking these questions because it's a serious issue. So be prepared. So at least you here today can carry the message to be prepared. How long do you intend to carry on your business? When do you want to retire? What tools do you need? Who will assist you and what will it cost me? These are the things you need to ask yourself, or ask your daughters, ask your sisters, ask your aunts. Ask the women in your network what their situation is, because it's going in the too hard basket. It's a topic that women don't want to really face, but it's a reality. Okay, so I'll quickly take you through some of our TCF Global opportunities, because in my not-for-profits, because I ran a small business for 20 years, I actually specialise in digging up opportunities for small businesses to help them trade around the world. Okay, so Australia is a very big country, but only 24 million. Over here, we've got Taiwan, it's only 23.5. But you can see how hard it is to sell a product or develop your business in a country this large. So you look here of the opportunities everyone has in this region. The emerging middle class in this region, or the consumer, is actually 3 billion people in this passage that we're looking at. India, China and Asia is 3 billion. That's an enormous opportunity for you to develop businesses that with the focus on digital disruption and the focus of the future, not of the past. You've got to look for new opportunities. So one of the opportunities is I try to get my small businesses to come is to see what the rest of the world is doing. If you're doing things in a bubble and not looking at what is happening around the rest of the world, or the prices are being charged, then you're working in a bubble. So any firm can come with me on my missions to Hong Kong Fashion Week, held every July or January, and if it's their first time there in my mission, I can get them 3 nights accommodation sponsored, or a travel allowance. So that is a great opportunity to see future trends. I can give you the presentation to save you taking your pictures. I'll give you the presentation. So you see trends, you see what other businesses are selling, product and apparel, etc. And also there's Centre Stage, which is another event I'm running. This is one I can give you for 3 nights accommodation in Hong Kong, the China Fashion Sources Fair, which has textiles, underwear, and a whole range of things as well. Once again, and in my missions you get VIP privileges. You even get SIM cards at this event. And I dig up all sorts of things, you know, Wi-Fi use, VIP lounges, you name it. This one is another apparel textile fair. The logo's disappeared. But this is the biggest textile fair in Asia, with thousands and thousands of exhibitors, March and October. Same thing, free accommodation to attend this event. India, I bring missions here. I've been bringing missions here to India for 10 years. I'll be back here in 3 weeks at the textile fair in India in Gujarat, where all the major fairs have joined together. I've brought many, many missions to Textrends, to IIGF, Indian International Garment Fair, the Handwoven Fair. I've brought many missions to that, held every March in Chennai. Vastra, I've brought lots of designers to Vastra in Jaipur. In Korea, another textile fair. The innovation in textiles, what textiles are doing today is where you will find new business opportunities, because nanotechnology is now changing fibers to actually be stronger than steel, to have Wi-Fi in the fibers, to have heating, cooling, biomedical textiles. The list is endless of understanding the technology coming out of Korea and Taiwan, of where you can create new products. So that one is every March. I was there in March, and all of these events have great seminars as well. Bali, I tap in designers to Bali. Bali is great for small volume manufacture, a bit like some of the artisan places in India, with sandals, jewellery, what have you, but very good with swimwear. Okay, Ormoc, and I know we've got someone from Leyte province here, from Tacloban. I've started 29 village sewing centres in Ormoc, which is regional Philippines. And the women, 250 men and women, were creating sewing projects, and I shipped 5 containers of sewing machines and textiles over to Ormoc for over about, 6-7 years or so. Unfortunately, this is the area where the Typhoon Yolanda went through in 2013, so the sewing centres ended up in a bit of disarray, and Tacloban, where you're from, actually was wiped out even more severely. So, but we sent another container after that, and we continue to help Ormoc where we can, and we hope to rebuild them again. So I help projects in Kabul and Afghanistan. The embroideries in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and also India are where the major threadworks came from globally. And there's really, really interesting patterns and colour schemes that you can utilise or get embroidered and used in your product. I've attended many Pakistan Fashion Weeks and delivered workshops there. And the Pakistan Fashion Design Council and BPW, Business Professional Women, help a lot of the patchwork quilters in Pakistan as well. So Carpets for Communities is another group that I promote wherever I can in Cambodia. And this is a project from South Africa with the Gateway Project. Nigeria Fashion Week, I was there in 2012. We help many African designers online. This is a project of a social enterprise where in Sri Lanka, hundreds and hundreds of weaving looms are sitting idle, and where small businesses can really create unique projects. So one of our clients got together the Gentoo weavers, which are very famous for their quality. They're weaving tartan fabrics, then they're making the school kilts, and because they can do unique colour patterns, because it's hand woven, then Dilma Tees provides the frame. These are delivered to schools in Tasmania, Melbourne, all over. So this is a very, very practical, and school uniforms is a very, very basic social enterprise that you can create in many countries because the colours don't change, the styles don't change, and it's a very good sewing project for women to create in a developing country that can bring income, but also practical use. So we've sent machines to Peru and Cusco. I'm also the secretary of the International Fashion Incubators. The fashion incubators are around the world. If you don't have one, you can contact me to find out where your country is if you want to start one. Now, the Global Platform for Action is something that we're involved with, and there's a free webinar every month on my website about this. This is the ITC, International Trade Center project. BPW partners with them, where women around the world have access to sell to Fortune 500 companies. Okay, where they've already agreed to commit a percentage of their procurement budget to buy from a woman-owned business. So that's Walmart, online, whether it's Marriott hotels, whether it's Coca-Cola, Boeing, the list goes on and on. So you can join up your business if you're a developing country. You get free access to their wonderful intellectual property, and you can, it's a buyer-seller matchup. So TCF, shipping, logistics, apparel, coffee, agriculture. The list is quite extensive of how you can get involved with that. Okay, so that's the end of my session. If you would like to access a free webinar from my online innovation festival, you can write on your card you want your webinar and give me your card. But you must need to write you want the webinar. If you want the PowerPoint, you need to write on your card PowerPoint also. And I will send you that, and I will send you the voucher. I have a few flyers on the Innovation Festival that you can see all the topics. And they're valued at $30 each, and you can get access to those. And many of the other topics are free, like my energy efficiency. So thank you very much for attending, but we have another speaker, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Hanlon. Big loud applause for Karen. And now I request Mr. Nachiket Joshi to share his experiences and enlighten us regarding again the same topic. I think he is fortunate.
If you want, you need to give me a word. Please listen. After the session, you will.
Thank you very much. I am so grateful. So I get a chance to speak among you successful ladies. And I congratulate you because you all are successful and wish you more success in your life. And I congratulate the Women Economic Forum. So get a chance to share my some few ideas as well. Me and Carol were discussing before the session, and Carol started social work 10 years before I born. So I'm not going, I will not go through all these things because time is less and everything, because Carol beautifully covered all the session, and her presentation is so powerful that we all thinking to start a textile online business. So what exactly I want to tell you, where is the problem? If you see the core, why before we can understand what is the advantage of online business, but we have to understand the issue. In many countries of the world, women are not getting equal status. For them, they are not allowed to go out, they are not allowed to speak with another man. So this kind of several problems women are facing. So the online business is one of the solutions for those kind of problems, because anyone can start their business, they can sell their product, they can create a market, they can market their product in the world through internet via online business. Online business will The second issue of the world is racism. If you see, and it's a fact, still many women consider themselves is less powerful than the man when the technology comes in the power. So I call it a technophobia. When the women come out from this phobia or this kind of hazard that they can do better, because the study says the women are more emotionally powerful than the man. So women can do a wonder. I'll just give you the one Sanskrit word. It's a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Thousands of years ago, the Rishi and our Indian culture was said Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Why? Because Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means the whole world is one family. Because if you think thousands of years ago, so maybe that kind of technology, this kind of system was there. And Yataritu Naritu Pujyante. Where you respect the woman, what will there? So in Indian culture, in the past Indian culture, if you see, we respect woman as a goddess, as a money and good luck. That woman is a silver, because woman is a mother, woman is a sister, woman can play sister-in-law, woman can daughter at time she's a wife. So she is having multiple roles at one time. And the time is the factor, because men can go out and work, but the woman has a time, how to manage her time. That's what Carol said, the 24/7. So 24/7 she can adjust her time, she can do that online things. And the best thing in online market, if they are working for a particular project in particular sector in fashion industry, let's for example, so in some woman who's sitting in India and they can sell their product in USA. So there is less marketing, less time consuming. They are not spending money in TV advertisement, and everything is cheaper to advertise, easy to access, easy to reach. So it's a good alternative and it's a good option for women. So, but women have to think where to start. But the problem is that because they are not implementing it. Many women, if you will come to your friends, they have all this plenty of idea. What is digital? What is digital market? It's an idea. Your idea can create wonders. The first time who create the first idea, he will capture the market. As for example, the Alibaba, as for example, the Yahoo, Hotmail. So there are plenty of examples. After that, even we all know, we didn't know a few years ago because we are addicted to Facebook and Snapchat. Right now we are addicted to that. But it was an idea, and whomsoever leave the first idea. So you are here. You are successful in your society. So what you should do, you should go and you should encourage the woman who really wants. So right now I'm working on one project that particularly in India, Gujarat and Rajasthan, there are many handloom products, and they are traditional worker. They are working for handloom products for five or six generations. So I'm gathering that database. I'm putting on an online portal, so their tradition can reach to the world, and they can sell that product. So that's what right now I'm doing. So if we'll implicate, so that those women will get international market, and they can establish, they can live a better life rather than that. So that is the thing, because I'm poor in maths anyways. So Carol has discussed all these, cover all these points, technical points. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
We've got a few more minutes, so maybe we can take questions.
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Evelyn. From a professional, I come from supply chain management background, but I'm heading a local network organization called EG. And my question is, much as we appreciate the online trade, the online business, which is wonderful to connect the world, how do we approve that this is we are giving a legitimate supply was even in the area whereby technology was not for its own for some hackers and fraudsters. I fraudulent dealings. Recently, 2 weeks ago, my friend got an invitation that she's been invited to London for a 17 SDGs, STAR 17 SDGs course. And it looked legitimate with the UN logo. Everything else, you not doubt it. And they provided the bank account.
Okay, scams are all over the world. And one of my mentors will help with this. Your country, if you does not have in your Department of Consumer Affairs has not set up a scam department, you need to take back this message that you need to start one. You can email me and I will give you the departments in Australia that are doing this. Because in the old days, people got a gun and went and robbed somebody, right? Yeah. They broke into a bank and stole money.
Yes.
Now they can take advantage and there are so many clever scams that the one thing is always look at the email address that it came from. It may come from your bank, it may come from the UN, but it's from a Gmail account.
Yes.
It's from another email. It's not a genuine email. There are more other situations where they can scan the email as well. So you have to look at all of the contact details. The next thing is you go on to the UN site and you find someone and you send this email to say, can you please verify? You never send money to any organisation saying, come here and speak at the UK or what have you on the Sustainable Development Goals. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. But this is where women, especially single women and especially young and mature age women, are being ripped off by hundreds of thousands. But that's why I said in my presentation, you need to be aware of your social media. Do not accept invites on your Facebook or the LinkedIn unless you can verify that the connections of where they've come from. Because those people are doing the scams, excuse me gentlemen, but are doing the scams on women that are vulnerable by getting the address links from their friend who think, I want to increase my number because it looks like I'm important. But they're actually inviting in the scammers to their Facebook of their personal friends that you think that the person is genuine because it's come from your friend. So you actually now need another skill. Pricing, costing, risk management is scams. So you need to be streetwise. You wouldn't walk around the street throwing out $100 bills on the ground. This is streetwise business skills. Your input on your IT skills?
That's right, scam is everywhere, and you go through, because I received this kind of email every week, because no bank will ask you for all the details, because you should be practical and run your logic, because no banks will ask you all the details, the passport detail, account detail, if they want information, they straight away give you a call. There are so many security reasons. So see, scammers will create a new technology every time. So that we only the solution is that we have to aware, and if something abnormal, if we feel, we should consult the correct department, like she said, to UN or your bank. So prevention is precautions is a best policy.
And the other thing is, if they're asking for money for the hotel account or that, even the hotels and the resorts are being scammed, and you're paying for accommodation in an accommodation thing that has been diverted off, and you turn up at the hotel to pay your bill, and it doesn't exist. So you have to trust the portals you're purchasing in. That's why now what I'm saying is artificial intelligence. Look at if you haven't cleaned up your social media, go to your social media, start fresh for your business right? Invite in who you want. Your business and personal social media should be separate. And you now need to look at your Facebook, and you now need to block people. You need to block advertising, because they're getting your details for their own future artificial intelligence, and they're scamming your client base. So if you want to give away your client base for free, do so. Next question.
Maybe this is just a follow-up question. So when you say block or clean up your social media, like block people that you don't recognize and block advertisements and something else?
You can, okay, so you need to look at, because social media started when maybe you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were just adding people. But now you need to look, if you're building your business, and we have lots of authors here at this thing, that you need to have a professional face if you're an employee. The first thing your employer is going to do is check your social media. If you're going to join a board, the first thing the job board's going to do is check the social media. In fact, some people have been held legally accountable in Australia for what a board member said on their social media about a particular race or religion. You need, so that the people in your network can post something on your page, and you're legally liable. Also, you need to be liable. You need to be aware that if you get your friends to make false claims about your business, if they turn out to be false claims or false comments about accommodation, about your products, you can also be held legally liable. So you need to clean up your social media. Maybe start fresh ones for your business, that you only invite your business clients and things, and keep your private social media private. You need to look at who you join and do you actually know them. You need to start reducing people, not thinking more is better. You need to look at the privacy things, and you can block the business advertising on your site under the privacy rules. And we'll be having a webinar on that as well. It's not there yet, but we will be, because that is where you need to be aware to protect yourself. Comment?
It's just a simple. Clear your browser after using. The cookies will be there, then they will affect your, the virus will come via cookies. So every night, clear your browser, whatever browser are you using, clear the history. So
Every night?
Every night. History from the beginning. Don't save any password. Try to enter password every time. Don't share your password via SMS, just call them and give your password if you want to give them a password, but don't save that password in your email. You can save your password in an offline instrument which is not connected to internet. Anything connected to internet can be hacked.
The other thing to be aware of, seeing we're on this topic, is connecting, because women are very trusting. You sit down at a cafe. A scammer will go to a cafe that women like joining.
Yes, that's true.
And they've set up over there I'll use Telstra because it's a Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. That you're getting, you think it's a hotspot. You're there having coffee and you go, oh well, I don't want to use my data, I'll use the free hotspot data. But it's the scammer over there. So while you're having a coffee with your girlfriend, they're hacking in and getting all your account details. So you can't even trust the Wi-Fi you're joined to in the street at a cafe. You now need to be seriously aware of it, like you wouldn't expose your whole body to a scammer on purpose, but that's what you're doing if you are exposing your internet activity and your passwords and your whole financial security to a hacker. They set up Wi-Fi. Next, any other questions?
Thank you for the specific details.
That's what I do.
Thank you, Carol.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think again a big applause. Very nice. And I hope all of you just give your cards to her so you get a webinar.
Write the webinar, and if you want the PowerPoint, write the PowerPoint.
Yeah, of course. I've taken you photos and videos too.
Okay.
So I can
No,
send
group
you.
photo.
No, of course.
Yeah, group photo.
It's manageable.
No, it's live on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
That's-
And then you come here.
Malawi. Come on,
Russia.
Tacloban.
See, I'm telling you.
Positive energy. Only man.
There's quite a few guys who would like to be in your
Yeah.
situation. There's quite a few guys that would like to be in your situation.
We are speechless after your energetic.
Maybe we put some chairs here. Put some people on some chairs.
Both of you.
Alright, so sit here. Like the king and queen.
Very balanced.
Oh, well, we
There is
just
no singles. All girls. Okay? Because you have to
Start
survive.
threatening me.
We're going to do a chair.
Because I'm minority here.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Quantity. Sometimes for a change, you know. Thank you so much.
Come here, please.
Oh, I should have one.
You also join.
Hey, you can be in it.
Thank you.
Can you do mine? Okay, I put it forward.
Please,
Put it
please.
forward. Wise up. Wise up.
Never knows.
Thank you so much.
Emma.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Energy.
Thank you.
Now what you have to do is action.
One more.
Action. Why aren't you in the photo?
Okay.
No. Implementation of the
I'm working for a security agency.